pain.
Me feel pain.
Can you see toothache?
Me feel. I want to question again.
You can't feel the creator.
You believe in that creator?
Obviously.
Alright. A man have a Bible in his backpack. Go over this and him shoot a man, kill him. And then when police are come, he make $2 and he get wet. And he run from telling him.
Turn it up, back it. Clear.
Because I don't like to just spit my talk. Spit off the cuff. But I'll tell you straight. If man says a white man's doctrine, then man ain't read the book.
Them attack off what they don't know about.
If they read the book, you know, say what the white man that wrote it.
My Bible saved me, you know God saved me. So why God never saved him from kill the man when go kill? Why never saved him?
So oh God never stop you from born when you're born. God never stop you from born when you're born. The man call it no. The man when you're
Straight. I know where my stories are. The man's described inside the book. You know the real racism?
Yeah.
When you see the picture of the man, fam, and it ain't what the man wants you described inside the book, fam. But then you got the script inside the book that says certain man will come in my name and say that I am him. You get me, fam?
Yeah, mute, pause that little bit and talk to me.
never step from born when you're born. The man call it no. The man when you're born.
I like to come with something that you can pick up for yourself and read for yourself, you get me?
Yeah.
Furthermore, I'll go with this one, blood. You see, if you want the description of the one they call Christ, or Jesus, it's inside Revelation, the first book, the chapter 1 and 14, blood. It describes him from 14 onwards, blood. It also describes him inside the book of Daniel, brethren.
Yeah.
Man said man's got woolly hair, man's got skin dark like bronze, black is burnt in a furnace, fam. Why that sound like a white man? Which part of white can you get out of that? The only time you can believe say it's a white man is if you don't read the book. And if they scare you to read the book and say, nah,
you're never going to threaten me now. You're well never going to threaten me now. Say, God will so love you, never kill me.
I be a shit in your time.
I just you go say like what I say. You can't feel Jesus enough.
No, what feel of Jesus? No, no Jesus.
What do you mean? God then?
God?
Yeah.
Show me God.
I can't see
better than that.
Oh, you there?
No, better than that. Listen what me
about. Oh, you there?
No, better than that. The nearest man on earth to God is who?
Now you. This version, that version. Once it was originally put into English, blood. What other version you need?
Yeah.
It's English. But when you start change the word from when it's saying black, now it's saying dark. Anything can be dark.
Yeah.
You can have dark green, brethren. You have dark anything. But instead of saying, but before it was saying black, my skin is black.
Like you can pick up on the reasoning, the way them that reasoning, and I say the thing.
That was a white man's word.
Yeah. And then I praise the little what the man, the Pope, and I say him are the most righteous man on earth, and some whole heap of rubbish them that say. It's serious in our reasoning and make we get afraid in our reasoning. Man, I want to talk to it.
No, I don't want to chat too much.
Shut up your foolishness.
Pope Rome is God pick up on earth.
Be a shit here.
Oh shit. A reality.
I get brainwashed, man.
Are you get brainwashed? No, listen why I get brainwashed.
Alright, calm down.
No, them get brainwashed. You know them get brainwashed? Me gonna tell you how them get brainwashed. Me gonna tell you how them get brainwashed. You see the doctrine of God and Jesus. The doctrine of God and
you get me, unless man's got look. The realness is, fam, once they see man's face and say, yo, he's coming from anti-Semitism, fam. It's not anti-Semitism, it's just what the book says.
Yeah.
The book says it's a black man, fam. It's real racist when they put a picture that's not a black man.
Yeah.
It's not racist to correct the image. If you say, no, it actually says it's a black man.
Yeah.
Correct the image. It's racist to keep the man as white.
Yeah.
I lie.
Serious.
Blood. I feel like I'll find my book for just draw for you, blood, just to read 2 scriptures, man. Just me, man. Blood. I'll catch you next time, man.
Backbush TV.
When I got Backbush TV, is it?
Yeah.
You get me? when I got my book, fam.
Yeah.
I get the man to read along. You get me, fam? Because man's not coming like no preacher in the pulpit. You get me?
Yeah.
Just pick out one verse and preach on it for 2 hours, blood.
Yeah.
Man go here and there. You get me? Like the book tells you, say, it's a precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. You get me?
Yeah.
Line upon line, blood. That's how man are running. And that's how you get full understanding of the book, fam.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Real talk, fam.
Backbush TV, like and subscribe.
Back, up top.
My dad's just give a little piece out. Him say him not have him book on him, so him can't get in. Too deep.
I want to watch this one here, though.
Alright then.
I want to watch this one here. See what
Doctrine of God and Jesus is a white doctrine.
What bush?
Well, man.
Wait, the man, wait. One,
The
wait.
doctrine of God and Jesus is written by white man in a place name, in a constant and hopeful, in a Turkey.
But what we hear about the Pope is not very good for you. Come here, son, and tell me about the Pope in that way.
But I Pope thing and you have changed it to be for your own.
No, but what we hear about the Pope is not very good.
Bush
TV. Like and subscribe. Right now, you know, we have an ongoing thing on the channel where we are talking about their majesty, we are talking about God, we are talking about the believer. We have somebody here, so right now, IJAH. The man are going to go in it and give you a bit of discussion. And I don't know, we have an ongoing war. We have Speng, we have Barbara Brown, we have Chemist, we have a whole heap of man in that debate here. So right now we have IJAH jumping it and I'm going to give a theme debate and theme speech in a war now. So we will jump in it. Backbush TV, like and subscribe. Man. Slap.
So the big debate was whether the Bible is a white man's book.
Yeah.
Alright, something simple, yeah. So this is just a normal Bible. The difference with this Bible, though.
Yeah.
Let me show you this Bible. This
Bible. My light, no, come on. It's
has
alright.
all the books in it.
Yeah.
King James Version. But you can see all the books, including a set of 14 books called the Apocrypha. In the you can see them there.
Yeah.
That's with everything in it, yeah. Alright, cool. So the colour of Christ. I'm going to say he wants to do the 3 stripe test. So we're gonna do the 3 stripe, but you have to imagine the picture. As you know, most people had it in their granny's yard, or at least someone with an old had that picture there in their yard, yeah. The picture of the white man saying his name is Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before I get to the description of Jesus Christ, let me get to this thing here. One quick prophecy, man. One quick prophecy, man. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and we'll start at verse 4. You get your Bible, read along. It's better you do it like that. King James Version. Alright, so it said, and Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumours of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things that must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But the first what I want you to take note of, when it says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. That's verse 5, yeah? So now I'm going to read the description of Christ.
Yeah.
Which is written about inside the Revelation. I'll start at 1 and 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. It said, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him. So the word revelation means the revealing of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto John, that the divine that was saw the prophecy. So it said, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent us and sanctified it by his angel unto his servant John. So now I'm going to go to verse 14, where it goes to the description of Christ, where he sees him. No, I'll start at 13. It said, and in the midst of 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. So it gives you a texture here. It says it's white like wool. There's only one people on this earth that's got woolly hair, and it ain't a white man. Is that strike number 1? When you see the picture of Christ, he ain't got woolly hair.
It's got straight hair.
It drops.
Drop, yeah.
It doesn't grow up. So He hasn't got that. And his colour of the hair, is it going to be brown? Is it going to be blonde? He said, as white as snow. So he has white hair. His face, the hairs on his face and on his head are white. He said, white like snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. So when he says his eyes were as a flame of fire, it doesn't mean that he was beaming like some Spider, Superman thing. It's just it means his eyes were red. His eyes were red. Watch this. It's written about inside Genesis.
So this is what you tell me now. So you can't read just one part of the Bible and understand. You have to flip through.
This is what it says. Alright, let me get that precept there. This is the precept. This is the precept. It's in Isaiah. Let me get there. Yeah? So the quick thing is, it's written in Isaiah 28:10. It said, for precept must be upon precept, which are the laws. So law must be upon law. Precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon. Christ had red eyes. And it was prophesied from Genesis. That's why it says that he comes in the volume of the book. So inside Genesis, it's the 49th chapter. And 12.
Yeah, so it's, Genesis, what is it? 49 and 12?
Yeah, Genesis 49 and 12.
Yeah.
So it says, his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. So it's talking about Judah. I feel like I should start higher. Let me start at 8, yeah? It said, Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. For the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stood down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, he shall rouse him up. Who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, which is Christ. And until him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding the fowl unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garment with wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. So I said he had red garments, because it's a deep precept still. But I won't even go into that, because I'm just going into why his eyes are red. So it said his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. So that's talking about Shiloh, when Shiloh come. And you see in Revelation 14, and it says, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, which means they were red, which was prophesied in Genesis. That's why when Christ said, I come in the volume of the book, you can actually precept it with understanding, you get me? So it goes on to 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. If you know what colour brass is, it's like a copper colour, like a brown metal.
Brass is unpolished, is brown.
And then you burn, listen, anything burn, what colour it get? Black. So the description of Christ is written about, if you read it, it's written about, but if you look at a picture, if a man holds you a book and says, oh, I'm reading out of this book, and the man describes this blonde hair, blue-eyed guy, you're going to say, boy, I can't read, I'm going to have to believe my guy. People are scared to read nowadays, because back in the day, man used to get whipped for them thing there. You get me? Mad atrocities going on for man get caught reading, fam. Man, there's some mad traumatic scars we still got on in ourselves, lad. You know what I mean? You still feel like it's a thing to read. You're like, nah, I'm not really on that, because you don't realise your DNA is already marked to say, yo, Massa might come in. You get me? See me reading, man. You get me, fam?
Master come in and see I read. That's serious trouble.
That's how it run, fam. Man, them is like, it's some mad locked DNA where man them's got going on, fam. And no one wants to read nothing. People will just believe what someone told them. So if I said, yo, this book, yo, come with rubbishness, blood. This is actually, it comes from the laws. What they say, it comes from the Egyptian laws. Have you heard that one there? It comes from the 42 negative confessions, blood, of my art. Have you heard of this?
No, yeah, teach the man them something then.
There's this thing in Egypt where they try and say, yo, those 10 commandments come from the 42 negative confessions, when in fact there's 600 plus commandments. So 42 out of 600 plus, who's really copying who? The fact is, blood, you give thanks. The Egyptians will still eat pork. The book tells you don't eat it. The book tells you, give thanks. The book tells you, man not to wear things that pertain unto a woman, and a woman's not to wear things that pertain to man. Mm-hmm. You see the man them in loincloth, like that's woman dress, fam. Their man there, it said, thou shalt have no other God unto me, as one of the commandments. Them had the sun as the God, had the moon as the God, had the star as the God, they had underground God. You get me? They had loft God. They had every type, like, I don't know, sea God. They had every type of God that you could think of, the Egyptians had it. But you're going to say that the Israelites of the Bible got it from them when they were saying, no, we're not into that. Any battle that you see pop off in this, that was running with the Most High, is victory, fam. Whenever they go off and go into sin and try and battle the same battle that was easy for them back then, they feel like, yeah, man, we're with it. If you're in sin as a people, the Lord will say, no, I'm not in it. That's written about as well, blood, inside Deuteronomy. But that's another subject altogether. We were just discussing the description anyway. But yeah, we are the people of the book, fam. That's all they want to hide from us. You get me?
Man, stop. Up top.
Of the Bible, same Bible still. Inside the Apocrypha, the Book of Judith, one of our queens and mothers, foremothers, I should say. So chapter 5, and we'll start at okay, we'll start at 16. 5 and 16. Judith 5 and 16. If you haven't got Judith in your book, you can type it in into Google, and it will give you KJV version. Judith, I don't know if there's any others, but Judith on the KJV 5, and we'll start at 16. And they cast forth before them the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and the Shechemites, and all the Girgasites. And they dwelt in the country many days. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into lands that were not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemy. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So it's telling you straight, if their God's on their side, they're going to duppy anyone, blood. But let them ruin themselves by dropping, they'll sin. And saying, yo, let them sin, because once they sin, their God won't be with them. So, you know, like, when you look at in this world, people say, yo, why is it only the black people? Blood, why is this always happening to the black people, fam? Why every one of them get shake up for some shit? Do you know what I mean, fam? It's always the black people, blood. Walk on. The answers are written, fam. It ain't easing up until we go back to the word. Blood, it's gonna be what it is. You know what I mean, fam? It's gonna be what it is, man. As I said, do you know what? Let me just go into it. Sure, man. Deuteronomy 28. We're going to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Yeah. Before we get to chapter 28, let's go to chapter 1, just so you know, just to get it in proper context for everyone. It says, "These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea." So he said, he only spoke to Israel, to the Israelites. These are the Israelites, yeah? The people of Israel. So in the 28th chapter, it talks about blessings and curses. Mm-hmm. So from chapter 1 all the way through to chapter 14, verse 14, it talks about all the blessings that you'll get once you do what the Lord told you to do from all these other chapters. If you do, these are the blessings. And if you want to, I'll read the first couple. "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of thy God." So that's the first two verses, just telling you what would happen if you listen to the Most High, done his commandments. It will bless you, put you upon high above every nation upon this earth. So now we go to verse 15. Sorry, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and all his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So they're telling you that these are the list of the curses if we don't do what the Most High told us to do.
So that's how the curses were played out now.
What's playing out now, preaching. All you have to do is read it. It's not hard. Just even if you say, I'm just going to read the 28th chapter from chapter 15, just to see what all these curses are, and see if they relate to us as a people. Man, it's mad. I'll go to 38. It's 38. 32. Yeah, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand." So you can't fight for you'll see your children getting snatched up. That was going on from back in slavery days. From whenever he was in captivity, people that were just taking our youth. There's no so during that, the strength's taken out of our hand because we weren't doing what we're supposed to be doing. So it's telling you, you won't have no might in your hand. It's even happening to this day. So bring it up to modern times. You can't even really be your youth to manners in. If your youth to talk too strong and my dad.
The feds them come here.
They can still just snatch your you, and you can't do nothing, blood. There's no might in your hand because you can't buy enough gun, you can't buy enough knives, you can't do what they can do. If you have to just chill yourself out and just look in longing. That's just one of the curses. That's 32. So all it is, the fruit of thy land and all thy labour shall the nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. So it says, the fruit of thy land. Where are they? They're not in their own land getting all these fruit, veg, minerals, everything. They're not digging up their own lands. They're in the fertile lands, digging up wherever they can dig up from to take the fruit of our lands and all our labour, because they got us working for them for some cheap little land nothing while they're sitting on billies, because they tell you what the price is for everything, fam. No matter what it is, they can say, I found a new rock today. This rock is 100 grand each rock, blood. That look like this. You get me? Like they can just make anything up. Yeah, they just make anything up, fam. You get me? Yeah, so they just rob your land for whatever they want, fam. The same rock that you pick up yesterday, they could get 100 grand for it. You get me? That's how to stay out here, fam. It said, and the Lord shall no, let me just carry on.
I have 5 minutes, my boy.
Oh, boom. This is a big one. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 37, yeah? It said, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations with the Lord shall lead thee. So when it says, thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword. So a proverb and a byword. A proverb is something like a wise say, like, yo, some people used to say I'm running on black man time. When they used to say, oh no, I'm running late, yeah, black man time. That was a proverb, fam. When they say, yo, they got proverbs about everything about us. We come a proverb, a byword. They call us. They called us everything but that we're not, fam. Like bywords. So first they called us Afro Caribbean. Then they called us Black Caribbean. Then they called us Black English. Then they called us Black. It's just bywords. It's not telling you what you actually are, fam. Yeah. Everyone else has got a nation and a nationality. If you can want to take on someone else's nationality and say, yeah, I'm Jamaican, it was only given to you, saying it's the land of wood and water. That was given to you by an oppressor. The name that the Most High gave you was Israelite. You're an Israelite of the 12 tribes of Israel. These your names, your surname should be Israel. That's what it says. You get me? Yeah. So as a nation of people, you got 12 tribes. You have to look it up because
it's long too.
yeah. Each one, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna take we'll take a retake on it as well too. So we run out of time.
Yeah.
And we have a bag of knives in the background as well.
Yeah.
So take one.
Yeah, it said, thou shalt begat sons and daughters. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 41. Thou shalt begat sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. So even that's to this day. When you think about what's going on, where people are forced into doing street activities, fam, the mothers are forced to see their youths getting locked up, blood, because the youths have to try and make some money, have to make a muckle round there, fam, because ain't nothing going in. The little piece of money that's getting received because people are trying to go out and work and do something good. The amount of tax and bills that come out, fam, you're on breadline. You get me? So then the little youth go out and get put into captivity. They won't even be able to enjoy their youth to say, yo, I raised my youth from this age to make them become a man or make them become a woman. Now they're doing something different just to try and make something because the system's got them chasing money, fam. You get me? That's the life they sell, that's being sold out there, so people have to go and get it. Otherwise, what is life without that
money? Not
just normal. I would need that excess money. I need excess money. I don't just need normal money. I need excess money, bro. That's how that's there. And he shall lend. This is chapter verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. When it comes to other nations, we're not lending to none of them. They're not coming to black businesses to get a loan. We're getting loans through them if we want to give out loan. It's always through them, blood. It's that blood. Every curse that's in there is written about. Man, we're going through it, blood. I'm telling you, fam, it won't even take long to read the full chapter because it's just a chapter. They say if you read like 4 chapters a day, you would have read the Bible within a year. That's only 4 chapters a day, and you've done it in a year. Imagine you get carried away and just start reading the story until it finish. You could read one whole book. You'd be done in 80 days. Finish the book, digested. Now we can reason. You get me? But I don't know whether just go to the kicker, but I'm gonna be easy with it.
Don't take time. We have to take a break. Cause we have time run out, can't we?
Wow.
I'm ready.
Okay, our last verse, man. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. And Egypt is another name for bondage because that's what the Israelites were in when they were inside Egypt. He said, I'm going to lead you into bondage again. That's what Egypt is in Greek as well. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So he said, now, remember you could walk from Israel to Egypt back in the day. They never had this thing called the Suez Canal, which spells Zeus backwards. That Suez Canal, that's man-made to try and cut off Israel from Africa. Because once you say Israel is in Africa, Now the people inside the land have to look a certain way for you to believe it.
Okay.
You understand? Now it can become the Middle East. Because I don't want to say it's Africa. Because if you say it's Africa, the people have to look a certain way. So let me not put people there to put one and one together. It's Middle East. People say, where's the Middle West? Where's the Middle North? Where are these places? Why is it just Middle East? Where that come from, blood? But we're not really allowed to question it. You get me?
Yeah, it's only the Middle East.
Only the Middle East exists. No other direction, just the Middle East. It's there, Middle East. In the middle somewhere, it's Middle East. Like, where's the High East? Where High Middle? I don't get it, man. So, anyway, so and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way thereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So that's telling you, no one's going to get you out of your slavery. Like, no one's going to redeem you for what you've been through. You have to go, man. Next time, man. Next time, man. Say less, man.
Say less. Man.
Could you possibly rewind and come again?
Okay.